How do the various zodiac signs behave when in love? Traditional astrology believes that individuals born under the same zodiac sign show certain similar traits in general, and the area of romantic relationships is no exception. This is due to the position of the Sun, representing our central life force, at the time of our birth, which influences our life goals and working mechanisms. In the first part of this series, total of 2, I shall look at how the first half of the zodiac behaves when in love: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Aries, as the first sign of the zodiac, initiation is your forte when it comes to having your sights set on someone who has captured your attention. This type of impulsiveness is typical of the feeling masculine types, who have a difficult time differentiating between love and passion. What Aries desires most is to experience life dramatically, to be surprised and intrigued repeatedly. Once the object of your affections has been captured, your interest wanes and you're typically off to your next conquest, depending on the rest of the birth chart, of course. This self-indulgent attitude and lack of awareness, which generally happens at a younger age, must be counteracted before you can hope to establish successful relationships with others. Instead of viewing love as a personal, ego-gratifying conquest, you have to take into consideration the needs and feelings of others involved as well. Taurus, as a sensual earth sign, you want your relationships to be long-lasting and real. The challenge for you is in dealing with the consequences when things don't turn out the way you want them to. Like the proverbial bull, you tend to doggedly dig your heels into the ground and refuse to budge when you meet any form of resistance, especially those that present a threat to your emotional security. When things don't pan out the way you want them to, you have great difficulty in facing up to the facts and spiral into feelings of rejection and lack of self-confidence. Instead of realizing that the relationship contains real flaws and moving on to another that is more beneficial for you, you tend to stubbornly resist. This deep inner fear of loss is a recurring theme in your life that has to be dealt with. Gemini, as a Mercury-ruled native, communication is second nature to you, and you naturally gravitate towards social situations and people who are able to stimulate you intellectually. You love the idea of love and are always looking for a relationship, perhaps to find your lost twin to complete you at some subconscious level. Being a thinking sign of the highest order, there is a tendency to live in the head and ignore the feeling part of you. If you choose to experience life only through superficial fun, you are likely to become emotionally fragmented and overwhelmed sooner or later. Eventually, you come to realize that scattering your energies in several directions doesn't provide you with the depth of emotional connection that you would like to forge with a partner. Cancer, being one ruled by the moon, you are naturally tied to family, tradition, nostalgia and the past. Being a deep feeling sign, emotional awareness and sensitivity are qualities innate to you, and you were born intuitive. Your desire to build things that are comfortable, lasting and safe is admirable and makes you a stable and loyal partner. When it comes to love, ironically you throw caution to the wind. Once you're in a relationship, however, your tendency is to stay committed to the point of being self-sacrificial. When your fluctuating moods take over, an overwhelming feeling of helplessness causes you to withdraw without a word, which can leave your partner feeling rejected and confused. The tendency to allow irrational fears and doubts to take over has to be counteracted. Leo, as a sun-ruled native, you naturally gravitate towards the spotlight, where you love to soak up the attention and accolades given by others. Being a feeler sign that rules the heart, you are always craving love in your life. Although you take love seriously, there is often an element of possessiveness involved in your giving. There is a tendency to be too caught up in your own romantic ideals, which ultimately do not measure up to your expectations in reality. When things don't go your way, you are prone to temper outbursts and attention-seeking tactics. The greatest challenge is for you to move past your self-centered view and focus on the needs of your partner as well. Virgo, though you are discriminating by nature, Virgo is a sign of change and process, and your love for editing, change and analyzing can be upsetting to your partner without you being aware of it. The tendency to live primarily in your heart can make you shut off from your emotions. The tendency to vacillate by going back and forth in matters of the heart is emotionally draining. It disconnects you from the joy that can arise when you give in your heart's desires. With your innate penchant for analyzing, categorizing and putting everything in order, you can continually search for the perfect mate without success. Learning to accept the feeling part of yourself and giving up on the self-sabotage tendency to resist joy have to be acknowledged first. Please like and subscribe to Phenomenal Astrology.